What is the secret of being content? That's what we're talking about today on the Brighter Wealth Show. But first, my name is David Sandu. I'm a financial advisor, and at Brighter Wealth, I help Christians become brighter stewards of God's wealth. So what is the secret of being content? If you've ever heard of the story from Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek of the Mexican fisherman and the investment banker from New York, you might understand the parable that Jesus talks about, actually about the gentleman who's building bigger storehouses. A lot of times people are looking for contentment, especially in this world of social media and looking at other people online. But I think, especially for the Christian, there's this pull at your heart to desire the things of this world. And I think it's even harder for a Christian because when we give ourselves to God and become a new person in Christ, our desires should change to whatever God has for our lives. So the problem with chasing after these worldly possessions and worldly things is that we're never truly happy with what God's given us. In fact, Paul talks about this. He says, I have learned the secret to being content, whether well-fed or hungry, whether with plenty or with much. I know the secret to being content. And he says, the secret is that he can do all things through Christ who gives him strength. A lot of times people don't really consider what's happening inside of their hearts when they're viewing other people and their possessions, or they're looking to the next biggest thing. A lot of times I think as Christians we're short-minded. We don't view every decision that we make, and especially when it comes to contentment, with eternity in mind. Ecclesiastes says, whoever loves money will never have enough. And a lot of times, especially in this world, we look to other things and possessions to fill our hearts with hope and contentment and happiness. But that's not the purpose, number one, of our wealth, but also not the purpose of our lives here on earth. The purpose of our lives here is not to accumulate wealth or to go after possessions to fill our hearts. The purpose of our life here on earth is to be generous, to be willing to share, willing to serve, and to share the love of God with other people in this world. That's why it's very hard for people who are so focused on themselves and making themselves happy to actually be happy. It's kind of an oxymoron, but when you're so focused on yourself, you're never really considering what other people are doing or how you can be a blessing to other people. Corinthians says you will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and your generosity will result in thanksgiving. So I think there's two keys there: giving or generosity, and thankfulness. So gratitude and generosity. There's two keys there found in that passage. When we are giving with an extended hand and an open heart, we're not focused on ourselves. We're not focused on getting possessions. We're focused on giving things away. So that's the first part, generosity. The second part is gratitude. When we are generous, we can see the value that things and possessions can have on other people's lives. And through that generosity, we can be a blessing to others. Again, we're not focused on what we're receiving or what we can get more in this world. We're focused on how can we be a blessing to other people. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what do you think the keys are to be content in this life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.